Oh, you have to update that. You have to forever now, too.
It'll get there. I don't think we have anything that I need the packet for till later in the agenda.
Yeah, you can always have.
Chuck's on vacation.
Oh, is he? Oh, I guess he did tell us he wouldn't be here. Yeah. Yeah, France or something nice like that.
How nice is that?
Only a couple of years before I get to do that again.
They seem to manage it with regularity.
Yeah, well, I hope to be in good enough shape at retirement to be able to do that.
Good grief. Ooh.
I've never seen it. It's got snow last night. Because then it'll come to you too, so you'll see what got sent out. Or something. Well, you'll see it.
The time is now 7 p.m. and I'll call to order the regularly scheduled meeting of the Beloit City Council. We're here at 100 State Street, Beloit, Wisconsin in the City Hall Forum, and today is Monday, September 15th, 2014. Can I have a roll call?
Roll call shows all councilors present except for Councilor Kincaid.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 3 is special orders of the day and announcements. 3A.
A proclamation declaring September 18th, 2014 Pitt Hopkins Awareness Day in the city of Beloit.
Vice President Haynes.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Beloit official proclamation. Whereas Pitt-Hopkins syndrome is a rare and severe neurological disorder caused by a spontaneous mutation of the 18th chromosome, and whereas PTHS is characterized by developmental delays, moderate to severe intellectual disability, breathing abnormalities, epilepsy, gastrointestinal issues, and distinctive facial features, with most not developing speech. And whereas the gene that causes this condition was only discovered in 2007, and there may be many who remain undiagnosed, and whereas only approximately 500 people have been diagnosed worldwide with Pitt-Hopkins, and whereas children with PTHS typically have a happy, excitable demeanor with frequent smiling and laughter, and whereas 5-year-old Adeline Grace Chadwick, a cheerful, loving young resident of Beloit who attends Converse School, was diagnosed with PTHS, and whereas Miss Chadwick, who could not even roll at age 1, through hard work and intensive therapy can now walk and communicate through the use of an iPad, and whereas the Chadwick family wishes to educate the public on PTHS and raise awareness of Pitt-Hopkins Research Foundation, which funds research that will lead to treatment and a cure for PTHS, Now therefore, the City Council President of the City of Beloit does hereby proclaim Thursday, September 18th, 2014 as Pitt Hopkins Awareness Day in the City of Beloit in hopes to expand recognition for the disorder and help raise awareness and research towards a cure. Presented this 15th day of September 2014, Mark Spreitzer, City Council Vice or President.
Step.
All right, I guess on behalf of our family and all of the other families out there who have been diagnosed, we just would like to say thank you, and I hope that other cities and other counties, maybe states, maybe the whole nation, maybe international, but for now, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Item 4 is public hearings. 4A.
A resolution approving a 2014 home budget amendment. The Community Development Authority recommended approval, 6-0.
Ms. Christensen.
The city's home program currently has a balance of about $286,000. We are required to commit those dollars within 2 years of receiving them, so we're behind schedule on spending those dollars. We're not getting as many applications for actual home loans. I mean, when people come in, they don't apply for home loans, they apply for a rehab loan, and then Christie evaluates it. But because the home regulations require complete compliance with code before they do their kitchen or their bathroom or their roof or whatever they wanted to do, it's been difficult to give out those funds, just given property values and, because if they don't have enough equity in the home, we can't borrow them the money. So we did purchase 422 Bluff through the tax foreclosure. Our intention had been at the time to rehab it. We did find that it is condemnable. It is in very, very bad condition. The parcel contains 422 Bluff and 310 Euclid. I went to Landmarks Commission with the idea of tearing them both down and building new construction in the district, and I was told no. That did we evaluate the option of tearing 422 down and moving 310 Euclid to the front. So we did that evaluation. We've talked to house movers. They do say, we do believe the house is structurally sound and can be moved. Earlier you had approved, about 6 months ago, had approved using CDBG funds to demolish the house. We have some we have CIP funds to help demolish the house, and then we could use the home funds to actually move the house and rehab the house. And then we would actually add a porch to it, which Landmarks has agreed to in concept. We do go to Landmarks Commission next week with the actual proposal, but tonight what we're asking you to approve is allocating $150,000 from the housing rehab program to this project at 310 Euclid. And tonight it's on your agenda for public hearing and action.
Thank you. I'll now open the public hearing on item 4A. If there's anyone wishing to speak on item 4A, please approach the podium at this time. Second call for anyone wishing to speak on item 4A. Third and final call for anyone wishing to speak on item 4A. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Are there questions or a motion? Councilor DeForest.
Thank you. Sorry, I'll try my hardest to speak so I can be heard. Ms. Christensen, can you share with the public what's the historical significance of going through all these efforts to save this house, just so they understand?
This property is in the Bluff Street Historical District, and as such requires approval from the Landmarks Commission to demolish it or to do anything to the exterior. This district has kind of piece by piece, there's some vacant lots in it over the years, and the commission feels it's very important to try to keep that, for sure the front, the Bluff Street side. Currently there's a vacant lot across the street. And so they just don't want to see these holes created in the historic district. The historic districts were established, and I think this group of citizens is very motivated and really passionate about preserving our historic properties. So I think where we can help that and move that along, I think is in our best interest. And it keeps property, it doesn't become a vacant lot, it becomes a taxable property, which we will sell to a new homeowner. So we'll have a new homeowner on Bluff Street, which I think is always a positive thing.
And the one that we're taking the effort to move to the front of the property was more structurally sound, in better condition, and historically.
If you walk through the houses, I wish we could have saved 422. It's beautiful on the outside. But it actually, there must have been some water damage on the northern wall, and it's actually bowed in. The floors feel unsteady when you walk through it. You wonder if you should climb the stairwell to the second floor. I mean, it's just very, in the back end where they had a third unit was, it doesn't feel safe when you're standing on it. But then when you walk into 310 Euclid, everything feels real solid. There's hardwood floors, there's woodwork that looks original. I mean, so there's a lot more to restore there. There's actually a clawfoot tub that looks in good condition in the bathroom. So, I mean, it's got a lot more. It looks better. The 422 Bluff House looks more historic and more important than the outside. 310 Euclid looks better on the inside. So if we can add this nice porch feature, which would be similar to other stuff on Bluff Street, we could make it a little bit nicer feature from the outside, and then it would match the inside. And I think we'll find there are people who just love historic houses. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure we'll debate to death windows and siding and everything next week. But so I mean, I think it's a good project for the city.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions, or is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve. Second.
Moved by Haynes, second by Kelly. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? This is approved 6-0. Item 5 is citizens' participation. We've reached the point in the meeting for members of the public to speak to the council about issues that are coming before us or may come before us in the future. The council will not act on any requests this evening unless the item you are speaking about is already on our agenda, but we may act on requests at a future meeting, or we may refer a speaker to staff for assistance. We ask that you hold your comments to 3 minutes or less and avoid making personal attacks. At this time, I don't have any sheets of anyone wishing to speak, so if anyone would wish to speak, please approach the podium now and state your name and address for the record. Second call for anyone wishing to speak during citizens' participation, please approach the podium. Third and final call for anyone wishing to speak during citizens' participation. Seeing none, I will close citizens' participation and we'll move on to the consent agenda. Before we have that motion, all items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered at this point on the agenda. Is there any councilor wishing to remove an item from the consent agenda? Councilor DeForest.
Mr. President, I'd like to request that item G be removed, please.
Is there any other councilor wishing to remove another item from the consent agenda? If not, the consent agenda will consist of 6A through F. Councilor Lubke, would you like to make your motion now? Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Lubke, second by Kelly. All in favor of approving 6A through F, say aye. 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 All opposed? That's approved, 6-0. Item 6G.
A resolution awarding Public Works Contract C14-14, Eagles Ridge Park Pedestrian Path.
Mr. Boyson.
This project will construct a 10-foot wide, 1,900-foot long asphalt pedestrian path in the Eagle Ridge Park. 2 bids were received for this project. The low bid of $67,435.75 was from Corporate Contractors Incorporated, and it is 66% more than the engineer's estimate of $40,635. Corporate Contractors is considered a responsible bidder for the project. The costs of the projects are as follows: $67,435.75 for construction and $10,064.25 for change orders and extra work, for a total of $77,500. Funding is available in the 2014 Capital Improvement Plan. The Engineering Division recommends approval of the resolution awarding the contract to Corporate Contractors, Inc. in the amount of $67,435.75.
Thank you. Councilor DeForest, do you have a question?
I have a couple of questions. Thank you. First of all, I just wanted to make sure to clarify, because you had just said the funding was available in the CIP. This will be TID funded, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. And then I apologize. I guess I missed this in the summary here. I didn't realize that the path was going to be asphalt until we were just upstairs reviewing the agenda. Could you talk more about why we chose to put an asphalt path at this park? I'm worried about cost. I'm worried about maintenance. I'm worried about expectations for shoveling it. Could you speak to that at all? I understand that Brian Ramsey's not here, and I apologize. I didn't realize it was going to be asphalt till just a little while ago.
Well, this is a circular path. It's part of the comprehensive plan for the development of this park. I believe it's always been intended to be an asphalt path, so I believe that it's gone to the commission in presentation a couple of years ago when we first acquired the site. The playground was built initially, and then there were other components. This is one of those components on the plan to be added. My understanding is that it's always been anticipated to be asphalt. Of course, the maintenance of an asphalt path would be less than that of a limestone screening or aggregate path, because they tend to break and wear and kind of require annual treatment, as opposed to something that lasts for multiple years without any special activities. Mm-hmm. So exactly the reason for it, I believe it's just for durability and having a more permanent facility for the residents in that area.
Okay, I'm familiar with the plan for this park, and I know there was always, as part of the strategic plan for this park, to have a path, but I didn't realize it was asphalt. I guess I want to be assured that there won't be an expectation to shovel this to add to our our snow plowing requirements.
Yeah, we don't have it on a snow plowing plan. Oftentimes our parks are this is not on a transportation alignment, so it's not a path you would take to traverse the city. It's a circular path around the park. I would assume that people might commonly use it to walk, and you want to go around the path 10 times to have a certain distance or something of that nature. In the winter, it could then be used for winter skiing or snowshoeing, but I'm not sure that's really too likely. Nor would it seem too likely that it would be used for winter walking, is our anticipation. I know Brian Ramsey has worked closely with the engineering division to design the project, and I know he did recommend engineering that we proceed to implement it to provide the benefit to the residents of it as soon as possible. So Brian is certainly well aware of it, and he had explained to me that this is an element of the plan as he understands it.
Okay. So, and also then, I would hope there wouldn't be an expectation that we would groom the trail either then with the snow. I'm just concerned about adding burden to our park system already.
Oh,
okay.
That's certainly true. We're not anticipating that.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions on item 6G? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Is there a second? Moved by Haynes, second by Lubke. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. 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 All opposed? This is approved 6-0. Item 7 is ordinances. We have none this evening. Item 8 is appointments. I, the undersigned Mark Spreitzer, duly elected President of the Beloit City Council, subject to confirmation by the Beloit City Council, hereby appoint the following citizen members to the vacancies and terms indicated as follows, said appointments being pursuant to nominations made and approved by the Appointment Review Committee at the regular meeting held September 8, 2014. To the Municipal Golf Committee, Andrew Insco, 430 Harrison Avenue, Apartment 103, replacing Harry Wurzgala for a term ending December 31st, 2016. To the Parks, Recreation, and Conservation Advisory Commission, incumbent Teresa Oldenburg for a term ending September 30th, 2017, and incumbent Chad Larson for a term ending September 30th, 2017. And to the Plan Commission, Bill Mathis, 1503 St. Lawrence Avenue, replacing Stephen Smith, for a term expiring April 30th, 2015. Is there a motion to approve these appointments? Moved by Kelly, second by Lupke. All in favor say aye. 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 All opposed? This is approved 6-0. I'd like to announce the following vacancies and encourage any resident who might be interested to apply. This is a great opportunity to get involved and serve your community and be a part of your local government, and we have quite a few vacancies that cover a variety of areas that might be of interest to you. On the Alcohol Beverage License Control Committee, we have one vacancy for a resident. The Board of Appeals has one alternate vacancy for a resident. The Board of Ethics has a vacancy for a former city councilor and 2 vacancies for residents. The Board of Review has 2 alternate vacancies for residents. Community Development Authority has 1 vacancy for a resident. Equal Opportunities Commission, 2 vacancies for residents. The Landmarks Commission has 2 vacancies for residents. Park, Recreation, and Conservation Advisory Commission has 1 vacancy for a youth resident that's under the age of 18. Police and Fire Commission, 1 vacancy, and a supplemental application is also required for that position. And the Traffic Review Committee has 3 vacancies for residents. So if any of these are of interest to you, you can find more information on the city website or coming into City Hall and see what the committees do, see which one might be of interest, and fill out an application. And we encourage you to consider doing that to serve your community. That brings us to item 9, councilor activities and upcoming events. Councilor DeForest.
Thank you. First, I would just like to ask residents for patience. My voice still is coming and going. I've had quite a few phone calls and people are not understanding why I'm not able to call back. It depends on the day whether I have a voice or not. Now for 2 weeks it's been, so I appreciate your patience in that matter. I would like to share what a pleasure it was to meet Adeline this evening, and so grateful to help raise awareness for Pitt Hopkins, and wanted to finally ask residents to be generous as they look through their closets and get ready for the winter time. The Salvation Army is having its coat drive. There will be barrels that will be out in strategic places, and please consider an extra coat that you might have or hat and gloves that could be donated for that effort. Would appreciate that. And for the youth that are here, hope that you will take note that there is a youth vacancy on the Parks and Recreation and Conservation Commission. This would be a great way to get involved in government and find out more. So just wanted to make sure that you all saw that. Thank you.
Councilor Lupke.
Thank you. Last Sunday, I was fortunate to go to Summit Park for a community get-together where people came together of all faiths to pray and to mingle and just foster a better Beloit through peace and understanding. And Friday night at the Beloit Historical Society, there was an auction of the doors that were donated by Diane Hendricks when she renovated the Beloit Inn. And it was a fun auction with many of the doors going for a sizable figure. And the monies raised from that went to the Angel Museum and Vets Roll. So that was a very positive event for Beloit. That's all I have.
Councilor Hendricks.
Hi, I'd like to announce a new group that's starting up. It's called Brave Mamas. So it was started by Katie Smullen, one of the former, well, she's the former principal of Merrill Elementary School, and she's a Beloit, you know, she was born in Beloit, raised in Beloit, and it started just from the idea of, you know, all of the violence that's going on, a few mothers getting together to protect children, not just our own children, but the children in the community. So we'll have a public meeting on Thursday, September 18th, so this Thursday at 7 o'clock at the Community Action, in the Community Action Boardroom in the Eclipse Center. So, and this group, like I said, was formed in response to the recent violence in our community. And then our BRAVE stands for Beloit Residents against violence everywhere. And our mission statement is residents united to create a safer Beloit through outreach, reporting, and recognizing those who work toward peace. The outreach portion is, we walk in groups throughout the Beloit community where peaceful presence is needed. Reporting, we are the eyes and ears of the community to keep our city safe, and then recognition will recognize students, teachers, and residents who will work toward peace. And it's not just for mothers. Anyone is welcome to join us in walking. It'll be Monday through Friday. The walking times are 3 o'clock around the Hackett neighborhood, and around the Merrill neighborhood is where we're going to start. We have paths set up. So for more information or to join us, just come out Thursday at the Eclipse Center, the Community Action Boardroom, and we'll have more information there. And I'm also excited to see the new additions to Gaston and Cunningham Intermediate School, Gaston Elementary. So those ribbon cuttings are coming up, so I'll be in attendance there. As well as BMHS Homecoming, I'm excited next week. Already.
Councillor Kelly.
Right, so I did attend Beckman Mill during Heritage Week, and it was great fun. I'd never seen the mill actually, in operation, so I got to watch the mill in operation and that sort of thing. And I did attend the auction, and I am the proud owner of Beloit Proud Door, a purple night door. I also had an assignment. There was some ladies who came to Beloit and on a bicycle, on a tandem bike, and on a cross-country tour, and they ended up in Beloit to install a little library at the college. Well, they apparently they got married at the Beloit Inn or Ironworks. Right behind in the garden there was a door, and the door had a woman on a bike with wings, and their aunt wanted to buy it for them. So I had to go bid for this door, and it was probably the most expensive door there. So it was very nerve-wracking to try to get this door for these women. And so I was picking up the door, and it's really a beautiful door. It's probably the nicest door there. So that's it for me.
Vice President Haynes.
Well, I can't beat any of this, so I'll pass tonight.
I don't have much to add other than that I'm also looking forward to Beloit College's homecoming, which will be September 26th through 28th, and we'll be seeing, in addition to alumni coming back, it's also family weekend, so lots of people coming to see the college and get downtown and see the rest of the community, and there will be some events downtown that weekend also celebrating, well, celebrating might be the wrong word, but honoring the 100th anniversary of the extinction of the passenger pigeon, so keep an eye out for those events as well. Yes? Item 10, City Manager's presentation. We have none. Item 11 is reports from boards and city officers. 11A.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to acquire tax delinquent properties from the Rock County Treasurer.
Ms. Christensen.
We've been doing this annually for a number of years. We have an acquisition account set up through the CIP. And at this point, we don't have a lot of money left in that acquisition account, so we're limited in what we can purchase. The properties that were included in the resolution for purchase this year were 1255 Harrison, 1215 Porter Avenue, 248 Merrill Street, 1743 Harrison Avenue, 520 North Street, and 904 Hackett Street. 1255 Harrison Avenue will not be taken by the county due to a bankruptcy action. However, there is a provision in your resolution which says that we only take them if Rock County gets free title. So I'll leave it to you whether you want to remove that address. 1215 Portland Avenue, 1743 Harrison Avenue, the intent is to purchase them and demolish them. 248 Merrill Street is a vacant lot which is surrounded by City of Beloit property. One of the vacant lots next door actually kind of wraps around the backside. And 520 North Street is proposed to be purchased to do rehab. It was declared unfit, but it is in the proper area for the neighborhood stabilization program, so we would like to purchase that with grant dollars and rehab that with grant dollars. And then 904 Hackett Street is actually a vacant lot where there was a fire, the corner of Portland and Hackett. And engineering is interested in having us pick that up, so that at some point in the future we could better align that intersection so it's not quite such a serious jog. So you'll see a resolution includes street funds, NSP funds, and the land acquisition funds from the CIP. And then what the additional item that we have on, or included in the resolution this year, is to allow city staff to attend the public auction on October 10th and to place a bid to purchase a property to not exceed $5,000, so that if we would go to the auction and something came, that nobody was bidding on it, and it would be a house, we wouldn't be bidding on vacant lots, that we could pick it up for up to $5,000. I don't know how likely that would be. We've never been to the auction, so we don't know what to expect. But we did have kind of $5,000 kind of left, and none of the properties were, $5,000. So we would like the option to do that as well.
Are there any questions for Ms. Christensen? I have one. Given that we're not going to be purchasing the 1255 Harrison House, I know we discussed at the agenda review workshop the possibility that you could bring another recommendation at our next meeting if you think there's a property that warrants it. I also wanted to ask on the $5,000 limit at the auction, do you think that gives you enough flexibility, or given that we're saving the money on the Harrison House, would any more flexibility on that number be helpful in making it more likely to be able to get something?
Yes, it would, be better to have more money to take to the auction. But I think if we don't have any other to purchase, we could always use it for condemnations, because we never have enough funds to do the condemnations. So I would rather, just leave it be.
Sure.
Generally, the houses are taken at auction. The ones that are left are usually vacant lots. And I don't know that the city wants to take any more vacant lots and mow them and maintain them. So, we end up maintaining them, I guess, anyway through Rock County, but we don't want to take possession of them. So I would rather that you just left the funds there in the acquisition account, so that maybe we could do one more condemnation, or we could start demolishing before the end of the year. That would be the other option, because we didn't have enough money to start demolition. We could actually demolish what we buy, one of those yet this year.
Thank you. Councilor DeForest?
Thank you. I agree. I would like to see as many houses that can be sold at auction be. I think it's better to allow the private market to pick up what it can, and so I wouldn't want to be going in there with a lot of money and bidding on houses that others would be bidding on. So I'm assuming this would be, the expectation would be that we would only be bidding on houses that receive no bids. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know that that's necessarily the case, but if it goes above 5,000, in most cases these houses sell for more than 5. Mm-hmm. So we would be bidding on those that have very little interest, is what we would be doing. Mm-hmm. If you're directing us to only bid on those that have no bid, I guess we can do that. But I honestly don't know how we were going to do the bidding itself.
Mm-hmm. And I know we talked a little bit upstairs about you possibly bringing another property forward, but I would rather see us be able to fund our condemnations and demolition expenses that we incur. That's something that we know will be down the road, and we always are struggling to come up with funds for that. And I'd much rather make sure we're demolishing the houses that we have that need to be than have them sitting there. So.
And we
that would
did.
be my preference.
Yeah, and because last year we bought 6 houses and then we demolished them this year, and that's part of the reason for the deficit, is that we were demolishing the year after. Mm-hmm. So it would just leave more funds, if there is 15 funds, since the CIP has not been approved yet, it would give us more flexibility in 15.
Is there any further discussion on this item? Or is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Moved by Lupke, second by Haynes. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? This is approved 6-0. Item 11B.
A resolution authorizing release of deed restriction for 1021 Central Avenue.
Ms. Christensen.
This lot there was a lot that was purchased by Habitat for Humanity. They used okay, well, I'll back up a step. In 2002, Habitat for Humanity applied for CDBG funds to acquire lots to build houses on. The lot that this house was built on was purchased with CDBG for $2,282 in 2003. From what I can tell from news clippings, between 2005 and 2008, this was a Beloit College chapter Habitat house, and I talked to Ruth Vader, who was part of it. So they fundraised, the college fundraised, and put everything together, helped out with building this house. And then it was purchased, or given, however the Habitat works, to a low and moderate income homeowner who lived in it for 5 years. It was sold in 2013, and now it is up for sale again. It has complied with any low mod strings from CDBG at this point, and this deed restriction would just relate to the owner occupancy. So it would release the deed restriction so it could be bought by an investor and it could be used as a rental. If you don't release it, then they have to sell it to an owner occupant.
Are there questions or comments on this item? Councillor Kelly.
Right, so this house, is anybody living in the house now?
I don't know if it's occupied.
Is the original owners in there?
No, the original owners are not in there.
They're not there. Well, I don't, I think the intent was for the house to be homeowner occupied. I feel weird about having this be another rental on that street.
Are you the owner of this house? Ms. Christensen, would that be appropriate?
It's up to you.
I think that would be
It's your
appropriate.
meeting.
Could you approach the podium?
Hi, Mary Ellen Mackey with the Realty Group, and this is
Rosalina Villa.
she is the current owner of the property, purchased it in 2013. She's had the property on the market since June, and the offers that have come forth so far have all been from investors. She is wishing to purchase a property, if she's able to sell hers, at 747 Moore Street, which is currently being used as a rental, which she would then be owner occupying. We've been unable to secure a bid from any owner occupants to sell her home.
Thank you. Do any councilors specifically have questions for the owner of the property? Councilor DeForest? Oh.
Right. I guess just a statement. I appreciate that you want to purchase a home in the city of Beloit, and that's wonderful. I'm glad that you'll be purchasing a home and occupying it as the owner when it's currently rental. My concern is the original intention of this deed was truly that it be built with the understanding, the city, gave the lot with the understanding that this would be an owner-occupied home always and forever. And so this is what I'm really struggling with, is that the intention of the way this arrangement was made was that we would be having another owner-occupied home in this neighborhood. So I just wanted to let you know this is where I'm struggling with it. I appreciate that you want to sell it, and I'm thrilled that you plan to own another home. But to me, the intention of this is clear. So.
Are there other questions or comments on this item?
Can I speak one more time? The lot was originally purchased in 2002 for over $10,000. The CDBG funds that were given back to reimburse Habitat were for $2,282. And that was 11 years ago. It has been owner occupied by low to moderate income up until this point. So the fact that Habitat put in such a greater amount of money and their deed restriction released after 5 years, I understand the city's desire to keep it as owner occupied, but it seems unbalanced compared to the Habitat deed restriction.
You said the property's been on the market since June?
Since June, correct. 3 offers, two acceptable offers, both came from investors.
Are there other councilor comments or questions on this item? I guess I have one comment. I certainly would not want to take a vote that would prevent someone from being able to sell their home. My sense on this is that we're not at the point of having that information yet. Having bought a house last year and paid some attention to the real estate market in Beloit, I know that it's very common for houses, even without a deed restriction, to stay on the market for more than 3 months. And so I certainly understand that the owner that you wish to sell the house as soon as you can. And I guess I would personally be open in a case if we were here sometime in the future and it just clearly wasn't possible. But I guess I'm not convinced that we're at that point right now, and so that would be where my inclination is on this. Councilor DeForest?
I do have one point of, sorry, I'm drawing a blank procedurally. If we vote this down now, Attorney Krieger, and it was to be brought back to us 6 months, a year from now, I mean, does that preclude us from being able to do that, to reconsider it in the future?
No, a vote you take tonight would not impinge on any future request to have the deed restriction lifted at that time.
Okay, thank you.
And Sheila, just to be clear, we never owned this lot, so we didn't give the lot. We gave CDBG funds to Habitat. As I actually researched that.
We do need a motion on this item, and the motion should be in the affirmative, regardless of how this vote is taken. Would somebody be willing to make a motion to release this deed restriction?
I'll make the motion for approval to get it to the table.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
Moved by Haynes and second by Hendricks. Is there any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed? Nay. This item fails 6-0.
Thanks.
Item 11C.
A resolution rescinding Public Works Contract C14-04 bid award, Gateway Sewer and Water Extension.
Mr. Boyson.
This project involves the extension of sanitary sewer and potable water mains to the Town Hall Road to serve the new CCI office building. 4 bids were received for this project. The low bid was $532,245 from LTL Enterprises, Inc., and is 91.5% of the engineer's estimate of $581,486. LTL Enterprises, Inc. was considered a responsible bidder for the project. LTL Enterprises was contacted prior to the bid award and assured the city that the bid pricing was good and that they would enter into a contract to construct the improvements. LTL Enterprises has since not responded to communications and has not returned an executed contract and is now considered non-responsive. The city attorney will be filing a claim with the bid bond company in an attempt to redeem the bid bond of 10% of the bid amount, approximately $53,000. The Engineering Division recommends adoption of the resolution rescinding the award of the contract to LTL Enterprises.
Thank you. Councilor Lupke.
I'm just glad that our city attorney is going to go after that 10%, the $50-some thousand as a penalty. Hopefully we're successful in getting that.
Councilor DeForest.
Agreed. And then just to clarify for the public, in terms of protecting the city in the future, I'm assuming in the future that we will not have to accept bids from this corporation or entity because they were not a responsible bidder in this case.
Certainly, we reviewed their background at the time. They seem to have good background, but certainly in this case, we have intimate knowledge of unsatisfactory background for this company.
So we can reject future bids unilaterally?
Yes,
Okay.
I certainly believe it could.
Good, thank you.
Are there any further questions, or is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Second.
Moved by Lupke, second by Haynes. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? This is approved 6-0. 11D.
A resolution reawarding Public Works Contract C14-04 Gateway Water and Sewer Extension and amending the 2013 capital improvements budget.
Mr. Boyson.
And of course, this is that same project to bring sanitary sewer and potable water to the Town Hall Road area to serve the CCI office building. As noted earlier, 4 bids have been received for the project. The second low bid of $831,088.21 was from MZ Construction, Inc., and it is 43% higher than the engineer's estimate of $581,486. MZ Construction, Inc. is considered a responsible bidder for the project. The costs of the project are as follows: $831,088.21 for construction and $123,911.79 for change orders and extra work, for a total of $955,000. As noted earlier, the low bidder for this project, LTL Enterprises LLC, has not responded to communications and has not submitted an executed contract in a timely manner and is now non-responsive. The Engineering Division recommends adoption of the resolution awarding the Public Works contract to MZ Construction, Inc. in the amount of $831,088.21 and amending the 2013 capital improvement plan, allocating an additional $422,000 from a TIF 10 fund balance for this project.
Mr. Boyson, have we worked with MZ Construction before?
Mike Flesch, the city engineer, is with us. I know he's done a lot of communication with the bidders, and maybe I'd ask Mike to comment on that.
No, we have not. But I have done research into their background, and they have done a lot of work for the state of Wisconsin. So I feel very confident of their competency and their ability to perform.
And we've talked to them about this, and they're comfortable moving forward and ready to hit the ground running to get this done this fall?
Indeed.
Thank you. Councilor DeForest.
Yes, thank you. I have a similar question. I understand this is a timely matter because CCI needs their water and sewer. They're ready to go out there. Can you let me know, there's no way we could rebid this, is that correct, and meet the deadline for when they're planning to complete construction?
Correct. There would be no way we could get it rebid and constructed prior to their wanting occupancy in the end of January.
Okay. I'm concerned because the difference between the engineer's estimate and the actual bid award is so incredibly high.
It's incredibly different. Again, it was time of season. We talked about when we were accepting the real low bid. You weren't present for that one, I'm sorry. When we discussed that one at the time of award to the LTL Construction, there was concern on premiums being paid because of the late season construction and other contracts that they may have, the other contractors have in place that would cause them to have a little bit of a premium being paid to make it all be done in a timely fashion. And so we're seeing some of that.
So I'm trying to get what I can in terms of lesson learned from this experience. We knew that CCI was planning to build out there quite a while ago. So, I mean, lesson learned in the future, will we be more proactive about making sure that we're getting water and sewer in place before we're running up against a season that requires this kind of cost? I'm not trying to, this is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, and we take it very seriously, Councilor DeForest. And the difficulty is their project was a moving target through the spring until all of a sudden it was, bang, we're going to break ground in August, and wow. So we're anticipating to bid in the fall with construction next spring based on their schedules and the communications we had with them late last winter through the early spring. So we were a little bit surprised when they accelerated their schedule, which meant we had to accelerate our schedule, and ours is a much more lengthy process than the private sector. So we did the best we could, got it out as fast as we could, and they originally were telling us we're going to be in by Thanksgiving. Now they're telling us we're going to be in by, then it was the end of December, now it's the end of January. Well, if everything falls into place, we'll be ready for them.
Okay.
weather permitting, and we're both on a very similar timeline. They have just been digging for their basement or lower level as we speak. So we'll be able to get our contracts in and get started within the next 3 weeks. We should be able to have it done. It's a greenfield site.
Okay, and this is TIF 10 funded, thank goodness.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Are there any other questions, or is there a motion to approve 11D?
Move approval.
Moved by Haynes. Is there a second? Second by DeForest. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? This is approved 6-0. Item 12 is adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn? So moved by Hendricks. Second by Lupke. All in favor say aye. 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 All opposed? We're that passes 6-0. We're adjourned at 7:47 p.m. I do not. I don't believe.